Hi guys, welcome to Step Up Live. This is a video regarding the international travelers guidelines for people who are traveling to Maharashtra and Mumbai. There are specifically different guidelines compared to what that are mentioned in the guideline from center. Right now what you see is the algorithm guidelines for international travels issued by the Ministry of Civil Aviation from the center. So this is actually applicable to most of the cities in India, except for there are changes for the state of Maharashtra and Mumbai. Let's quickly get on to the details that what is the thing that you need to do different in terms of quarantine, institutional quarantine and all that process. Let's quickly get on to the details what is different in case if you're traveling to Maharashtra or Mumbai. This latest information comes up from Maharashtra is that they are providing another set of guidelines beyond the guidelines that are mentioned by the government of India. First and foremost, the information that is coming in for the travelers who are international and are traveling into Maharashtra is that the government of India guidelines shall be strictly implemented at the airport, and it talks about 7 days of institutional quarantine mandatory for people who are traveling from the at-risk locations. If you see the previous algorithm, it was only talking about RT-PCR to be taken, and if the test is negative, it is recommending a 7-day home quarantine. But the latest guidelines that are issued from the government of Maharashtra talk about people who arrive in Mumbai will be tested, as well as 7 days institutional quarantine is mandatory. If you look at the latest guidelines, it is clearly talking about the 7 days institutional quarantine and 3 RT-PCR tests to be done, one on arrival, the other on 2nd, 4th and 7th day post the arrival. So this needs to be monitored, and institutional quarantine is mandatory for everybody who is coming from at-risk locations from 2nd of December 2021. What we have also tried to do is that we leave the link for this article as well as this directive in the description. Along with that, we are accumulated the hotels locations that are in Mumbai. If you see, there are some locations that have been allocated by the BMC for institutional quarantine. I will leave the link for that in the description as well. You can check it out. What are the 2-star, 3-star budget hotels available in the region of Mumbai when you arrive, if institutional quarantine is mandated, which looks clearly the situation when we are talking about the people who are coming from at-risk organizations or countries per se. So this is a new guideline for the state of Maharashtra, which is not applicable in other parts of the country. My suggestion would be that check out the links of the BMC Twitter handle. It has all the details as well as information, along with the links that I am putting in the description for the quarantine locations. You can evaluate the situation, because when you will arrive, you will have to do 7 days mandatory institutional quarantine with 3 to 4 COVID-19 tests, and after that you will be allowed to move on to your destination locations. So this is something which is created a big bottleneck for people who are traveling from at-risk countries, because the previous algorithm, if you see, was only talking about a test which was mandatory, and if the results were negative, they were allowed to go for home quarantine. If you like this video, then subscribe to the channel and share this video with the friends who may be traveling from at-risk locations and are traveling into the state of Maharashtra and especially Mumbai. All this information could be helpful to them. Thank you so much, and bye bye.